Listen. I need you to hear me on this one. Life is going to throw punches. Life is going to test you. Life is going to put you in situations where you feel like giving up. But hear me when I say this. You cannot let you down. See, too many of y'all out here worrying about what others think, worrying about their approval, their validation. But let me tell you something. At the end of the day, it's you versus you. It ain't about your friends, your family, your boss, or your haters. The real fight is against your own excuses, your own fears, your own laziness. That's the real battle. I see too many people getting distracted, waiting for somebody to save them, waiting for a perfect moment. But let me tell you something, there is no perfect moment. There is no hero coming to rescue you. The only person that's going to take you to the next level is you. You got to make a decision right here, right now, that you will never, ever let yourself down again. You say you want to be successful. You say you want to be great. You say you want to change your life. But let me ask you, when are you going to start keeping your own word? See, it's easy to make promises to other people. It's easy to tell your family, your friends, your boss, I got you, I won't let you down. But what about you? How many times have you told yourself you were going to wake up early, hit the gym, start that business, finish that project, and then you didn't? How many times have you let you down? You can lie to the world, but you can't lie to yourself. You know deep down if you're putting in the work or if you're making excuses. You know if you're going all in or just pretending. And every time you break a promise to yourself, you lose trust in yourself. And if you don't believe in you, why should anybody else? I need you to hear me. I need you to feel this, because this is where success starts. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about whether or not you can depend on yourself when things get tough. When that alarm clock goes off at 5 a.m., can you trust yourself to get up and grind? When the money gets low, when the struggle gets real, can you trust yourself to keep pushing? Champions are made in the moments where no one is watching. Champions are made in the decisions they make when they're tired, when they're broken, when they don't feel like it. See, you think success is about motivation? Nah, motivation fades. Discipline is what keeps you going. Discipline is what makes sure you don't let yourself down. Think about it. If every time you made a commitment to yourself, you actually followed through, where would you be right now? If every time you set a goal, you actually put in the work, didn't make excuses, didn't let fear stop you, how different would your life be? Some of you are so close, but you keep getting in your own way. You keep stopping right before you break through. This is not about talent. This is not about how smart you are. This is about heart. This is about grit. This is about waking up every single day and saying, I refuse to let myself down. You got to fight for your dreams like your life depends on it. Because guess what? It does. Every decision you make today is shaping your future. Every excuse you give today is holding you back. Every moment you waste is a moment you can't get back. Some of y'all keep waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to push you, waiting for life to make it easy. But let me tell you the truth. Life ain't never going to be easy. Life is always going to test you. Life is always going to throw obstacles in your way. But guess what? That's where the growth happens. That's where you prove to yourself that you're built different. So I'm asking you today, what's your standard? Are you going to keep letting yourself down? Are you going to keep making the same excuses? Or are you going to step up, level up, and finally keep your word to yourself? You owe it to yourself to be great. You owe it to yourself to show up. You owe it to yourself to fight. Because if you don't, who will? Nobody can want it for you more than you want it for yourself. Nobody can make you put in the work. Nobody can force you to be great. That's on you. You either stay where you are or you rise up and take what's yours. But it all starts with a decision. And that decision is simple. Never let you down. When you make a promise to yourself, keep it. Too many people make commitments to themselves and then break them without a second thought. They say they're going to wake up early and grind, but when the alarm clock goes off, they hit snooze. They say they're going to start eating healthy, but when they see junk food, they make excuses. They promise themselves they'll go to the gym, but when the moment comes, they find a reason to skip. And every time you do that, every time you break your own word, you are telling yourself that you are not reliable, that your word doesn't mean anything. Imagine you had a friend who constantly lets you down. Every time they said they would be there for you, they weren't. Every time they made plans with you, they canceled. Would you trust that person? Would you rely on them? No, you wouldn't. So why do you keep breaking promises to yourself and expect to succeed? Why do you think you can build confidence, discipline, and success if you don't trust yourself to follow through? This is not about motivation. Motivation fades. Motivation is based on feelings, and feelings are temporary. Some days you'll feel like grinding, and some days you won't. If you only show up when you feel like it, you will never reach your full potential. Success is built on discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation is gone. Discipline is what ensures that when you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. No excuses, no exceptions. When you keep breaking promises to yourself, you teach your mind that your words don't matter. You say you want to be successful, but your actions don't align with your words. And that's why so many people feel stuck. They set goals, they get excited, but deep down, they don't believe they can actually achieve them because they have a history of letting themselves down. They have spent years telling themselves one thing and doing another. And now their mind has learned not to trust their own words. You need to reprogram yourself. You need to start keeping your promises, no matter how small. If you say you're going to wake up at 5 a.m., wake up at 5. If you say you're going to read for 30 minutes a day, read for 30 minutes a day. If you say you're going to go to the gym, go to the gym. It doesn't matter how tired you are, how busy you are, how hard it is. What matters is that you build trust with yourself. You need to prove to yourself that when you say something, you mean it. Because here's the truth. If you can't keep a promise to yourself, you will struggle to keep promises to anyone else. If you can't rely on yourself, how can you expect anyone else to rely on you? The most successful people in the world are not the ones who always feel motivated. They are the ones who have trained themselves to be disciplined. They are the ones who show up day after day, no matter how they feel. They have built a reputation with themselves that says, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. This is not about being perfect. This is about making a commitment and standing by it. This is about learning to trust yourself again. Some of you have spent years breaking your own trust, but today, right now, you can start changing that. You don't need to make huge changes overnight. Start with one small promise. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe it's writing down your goals every day. Whatever it is, commit to it and do not break that commitment, no matter what. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence. Every time you follow through, you prove to yourself that you are someone who can be trusted. And that confidence starts to change everything. When you trust yourself, you stop making excuses. When you trust yourself, you start setting bigger goals because you know you can achieve them. Too many people wait for the right moment to take action. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until things get easier. But let me tell you something. Waiting is just another way of breaking a promise to yourself. Waiting is just another excuse. If you want to change your life, stop waiting and start acting. It won't be easy. There will be days when you want to quit. There will be moments when your old habits try to pull you back. But every time that happens, remind yourself, I keep my promises. I follow through. I do what I say I'm going to do. If you hold on to that mindset, nothing can stop you. This is your life. This is your future. And it all starts with one decision. When you make a promise to yourself, keep it. Show up strong, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when things aren't going your way. That's the difference between the people who succeed and the people who don't. It's easy to be motivated when everything is going well. It's easy to stay committed when you're excited. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when the results don't come as fast as you want? What happens when life throws obstacles in your way? That's when most people quit. That's when most people slow down, make excuses, and convince themselves that it's okay to give up. But the people who win, the people who make it to the top, are the ones who show up strong no matter how they feel. You can't wait for the perfect moment to give your best effort. You can't wait for the conditions to be just right. Success doesn't work like that. You don't get to decide when life challenges you, but you do get to decide how you respond. You don't get to control when obstacles come your way, but you do get to control your effort. That's what separates the winners from the quitters. The people who succeed are the ones who keep pushing, who keep grinding, who keep showing up at 100% no matter what's happening around them. There are going to be days when you don't feel like putting in the work. There are going to be days when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you don't see any progress. But those are the most important days. Those are the days that define who you are. Because anybody can work hard when things are easy. Anybody can stay committed when everything is going their way. But real discipline, real success, comes from showing up strong even on the hard days. Even when nobody is watching, even when nobody is clapping for you. Too many people let their emotions control their actions. They only work hard when they feel good. They only give effort when they're motivated. But emotions are temporary. Feelings come and go. If you let your emotions dictate your effort, you'll never be consistent. And if you're not consistent, you'll never reach your full potential. The people who succeed at the highest level are the ones who have trained themselves to show up strong regardless of how they feel. They've built the discipline to put in the work even when they're not in the mood. They've trained their mind to push past their excuses and keep going. Think about how much further you'd be if you stopped letting your feelings control your effort. Think about how much progress you'd make if you decided right now that no matter what happens, you will always show up strong. No more making excuses, no more waiting for motivation, no more backing down when things get tough, just relentless, unstoppable effort every single day. Some of you keep telling yourselves that you're working hard, but deep down you know you're not giving your best. Deep down, you know you're holding back. You're giving 50%, 60%, maybe even 70%, but you're not giving 100%. And then you wonder why you're not seeing results. You wonder why things aren't changing. The answer is simple. You're not showing up strong. You're not giving everything you have. And until you do, you'll never reach the level you're capable of. You need to make a decision. Are you going to keep showing up at half sped, hoping for things to get easier? Or are you going to step up and give your absolute best no matter what? Because I promise you this. If you start showing up strong, if you start attacking every single day with full intensity, if you start refusing to let anything slow you down, your life will change. Your results will change. Your confidence will change. It won't be easy. There will be days when you want to quit. There will be moments when everything in you tells you to slow down, to take it easy, to give up. But that's the moment when you have to push harder. That's the moment when you have to remind yourself who you are. You are not someone who gives up. You are not someone who lets excuses win. You are someone who shows up strong no matter what. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you feel like it. Success is not about feelings. Success is about discipline. It's about consistency. It's about making the decision every single day that you will give your absolute best no matter what. So from this moment forward, commit to it. No more excuses, no more half effort, no more letting your emotions dictate your actions. Show up strong every single day and watch how your life transforms. Discipline is everything. It's what separates the ones who succeed from the ones who spend their whole lives making excuses. People love to talk about success. They love to dream about it, fantasize about it, watch videos about it, read books about it. But when it's time to put in the work, when it's time to stay committed, when it's time to keep pushing, even when they don't feel like it, that's where most people fall off. Because they think success is about motivation. They think they need to feel inspired every day to take action. But let me tell you something. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you only work when you feel motivated, you'll never be consistent. And if you're not consistent, you will never win. The people who reach the top don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They rely on habits. They rely on routines. They've trained themselves to do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. That's the difference. That's why some people can wake up at 5 a.m. every day, go to the gym, put in the work, and keep grinding, while others keep hitting snooze and making excuses. It's not because they always feel like it. It's because they've made a commitment to themselves that they refuse to break. Think about all the times you told yourself you were going to change. All the times you set a goal, made a plan, got excited about something, only to quit as soon as things got hard? How many times have you let yourself down because you were waiting for motivation? How many times have you started something but didn't finish because you let your emotions get in the way? That's the problem. Too many people live their lives based on feelings instead of principle. They let their emotions dictate their actions instead of staying disciplined and committed. Success doesn't care about your feelings. Success doesn't care if you're tired. Success doesn't care if you're stressed. Success doesn't care if you don't feel like it today. The only thing that matters is whether or not you show up and do the work. That's it. No excuses, no exceptions. Some of you are waiting for things to get easier. You think that one day you'll wake up and suddenly it'll be easy to work hard, easy to stay disciplined, easy to grind every day, but that day will never come. It never gets easier, you just get stronger. You get tougher. You get more disciplined. The only way to build that discipline is to stop giving yourself a way out. Stop giving yourself permission to quit when things get uncomfortable. Stop letting your feelings decide your future. You have to train yourself to be consistent. You have to commit to showing up day after day, no matter what. That's how you build habits. That's how you build self-respect. That's how you build success. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Over time, discipline becomes a part of you. You stop thinking about whether or not you feel like doing something. You just do it because that's who you are. That's when everything changes. That's when you stop second guessing yourself. That's when you stop struggling with motivation, because now you're not operating based on emotions. You're operating based on discipline. You've built a system, a routine, a mindset that refuses to accept anything less than your best. And when you get to that point, nothing can stop you. Think about what your life would look like if you stopped making excuses. Think about what would happen if you committed to being disciplined no matter what. If you stopped quitting every time things got uncomfortable. If you stopped looking for shortcuts and started embracing the process. That's the secret. That's what separates the great from the average. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not motivation, it's discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. The ability to push through discomfort, keep going when others quit, and hold yourself to a higher standard no matter what. From this moment on, make a decision. A decision that from now on, you will not let your emotions control your actions. That you will not rely on motivation to get things done. That you will be disciplined, consistent, and relentless in the pursuit of your goals. Because the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to do the work for you. Nobody is going to hand you success. It's on you. It always has been. So stop waiting, stop making excuses, and start building the discipline you need to win. Stop making excuses. Excuses are the enemy of progress. Every time you make an excuse, every time you justify why you can't do something, you are giving yourself permission to stay the same. You are giving yourself permission to stay stuck, to remain average, to never reach your full potential. People who succeed, people who dominate in their fields, people who achieve great things don't waste time making excuses. They don't blame circumstances. They don't look for reasons why something can't be done. They just find a way to make it happen. Too many people spend their lives justifying failure. They tell themselves they don't have the time. They tell themselves they don't have the resources. They tell themselves they don't have the right opportunities. But the truth is, none of that is what's holding them back. What's holding them back is their mindset. Because no matter where you come from, no matter what obstacles are in your way, there is always a way forward if you are willing to find it. Success is about taking responsibility. It's about looking in the mirror and admitting that if you're not where you want to be in life, it's because of your choices, your actions, and your mindset. And that's a hard pill for some people to swallow, because it's easier to blame the world, it's easier to blame your past, it's easier to blame circumstances, but none of that will change your future. The only thing that will change your future is you, your willingness to stop making excuses and start taking action. Think about it. Every day you have a choice. You can either make an excuse or you can make progress. You can either sit around complaining about why something is impossible, or you can get up and figure out how to make it happen. Which one are you going to choose? Because at the end of the day, your excuses don't matter. The world doesn't care why you didn't succeed. The world only sees results. The world only respects those who take action, who push through adversity, who refuse to be stopped by circumstances. Look at the most successful people in the world. Do you think they didn't have struggles? Do you think they didn't face setbacks? Do you think they didn't have moments where they could have made excuses? Of course they did. But they refused to let those excuses define them. They refused to let circumstances control their destiny. They chose to find a way no matter what. And that's the mindset you need to have. You need to decide right now that from this moment on, you will not allow excuses to run your life. You will not allow excuses to hold you back. Because the truth is, excuses are nothing but lies we tell ourselves to make failure feel okay. But failure is not okay. Staying the same is not okay. Wasting your potential is not okay. Some of you have been making excuses for years. Some of you have been telling yourselves the same story about why you can't succeed, why you can't change, why you can't be great. But today, that story ends. Today, you rewrite your narrative. Today, you make a decision that you will do whatever it takes to win. No more blaming the past. No more blaming circumstances. No more blaming other people. It's on you. It always has been. And the moment you accept that, the moment you take full responsibility for your life, everything will change. It won't be easy. There will be moments when you want to go back to your old ways, when you want to start making excuses again. But every time that thought enters your mind, shut it down. Remind yourself that excuses don't get results. Excuses don't build success. Excuses don't create the life you want. Only action does. Only commitment does. Only relentless effort does. Think about your future. Think about where you want to be 5 years from now. Do you want to look back and see a person who made every excuse in the book? Or do you want to look back and see a person who pushed through, who never backed down, who took full control of their destiny? That choice is yours. And the time to make that choice is now. Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more excuses you make, the deeper you dig yourself into a hole that will be even harder to climb out of. You have everything you need to succeed. You have the ability. You have the strength. You have the intent. The only thing standing in your way is the excuses you keep telling yourself. So from this moment forward, commit to eliminating them. Commit to holding yourself accountable. Commit to showing up, putting in the work, and refusing to let anything stop you. Because once you do that, once you remove excuses from your life, there is nothing that can hold you back. Your dreams don't work unless you do. Everybody wants success, but very few people are willing to put in the level of effort required to achieve it. They talk about their goals. They visualize their dreams. They get excited about what their life could be. But when it's time to actually do the work, when it's time to grind, to sacrifice, to push through discomfort, that's where most people fall short. They want the reward without the struggle. They want the results without the discipline. They want the victory without the fight. But life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't work that way. You have to be willing to work for what you want. You have to be willing to show up every single day and put in the effort, even when you're tired, even when you're not seeing immediate results, because success is not an overnight process. It's a long, grueling journey. It's a test of your patience, your dedication, and your mental toughness. Most people don't make it because they expect things to happen too fast. They want instant gratification. They want to see progress immediately. And when they don't, they start to doubt themselves. They start to wonder if it's worth it. And eventually, they quit. But the people who succeed, the people who achieve greatness, are the ones who understand that hard work is non-negotiable. They don't rely on motivation. They don't wait until they feel like it. They've trained themselves to show up and grind no matter what. Because they know that every action they take is bringing them one step closer to their dreams. Even if they don't see results today, even if they don't see results next week, they trust the process. They believe in the work they're putting in. And eventually the results come. That's the mindset you need to have. You need to commit to the process, not just the outcome. You need to fall in love with the work, not just the dream. Because if you're only in love with the end result, you won't last. The journey is too difficult. The obstacles are too many. The setbacks are too painful. But if you learn to love the process, if you learn to embrace the grind, if you learn to find joy in the struggle, nothing can stop you. Think about it. Every great success story is built on relentless work. Every champion, every leader, every innovator who has ever accomplished something incredible got there through sheer effort. They didn't make excuses. They didn't look for shortcuts. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They simply did the work day in and day out for years. That's what separates winners from losers. That's what separates the successful from the average. So the question is, are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to put in the hours? Are you willing to sacrifice comfort for progress? Because that's what it comes down to. Everybody wants the lifestyle, but few people are willing to do what's required to earn it. They say they want success, but when it's time to wake up early, stay up late, practice discipline, push through discomfort, they hesitate. They start looking for the easy way out. And that's why most people never achieve their full potential. You have to decide right now that you will not be one of those. Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Most people don't understand this. They feel pain, and instead of pushing through, they stop. They give up. They let discomfort dictate their future. But the ones who succeed, the ones who make it to the top, they understand that pain is just a part of the process. It's not there to stop you. It's there to test you, to make you stronger, to separate those who really want it from those who only say they do. Every time you feel like giving up, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself that the pain you're feeling right now is temporary, but the success you're chasing will last forever. You can either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of discipline is hard, but it's temporary. The pain of regret, that lasts a lifetime. It's the feeling of knowing you could have done more. You could have worked harder. You could have been greater, but you let temporary discomfort stop you. That's the kind of pain you don't want to live with. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. There will be days when you're exhausted, when the results aren't coming fast enough, when everything in you is screaming to quit. Those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments that determine whether you stay average or become great. Because anyone can work hard when they feel good. Anyone can stay disciplined when everything is going their way. But the real test comes when things get tough, when you're tired, when you're doubting yourself. What do you do then? Do you quit or do you push through? The greatest achievements in life don't come from comfort. They come from struggle. They come from perseverance. They come from pushing through when most people would stop. Pain is a signal, but it's not a stop sign. It's telling you that you're growing. It's telling you that you're breaking through barriers that most people never get past. And if you can learn to embrace that pain, if you can learn to keep moving forward despite it, you will achieve things that most people only dream of. Think about the people who inspire you. Think about the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the icons you look up to. Every single one of them has gone through pain. They've all had moments where they wanted to quit, but they didn't. They kept going. They endured. And because of that, they succeeded. That same strength is in you. That same ability to push through is inside you right now. The only difference between you and them is that they refuse to give up. You have to make a decision. Are you going to let pain break you, or are you going to let it build you? Are you going to use it as an excuse to quit, or are you going to use it as fuel to keep going? Because at the end of the day, the choice is yours. The pain will come either way. But if you keep pushing, if you stay disciplined, if you refuse to quit, that pain will turn into strength. It will turn into progress. It will turn into success. And one day you look back and realize that every struggle, every setback, every moment of doubt was worth it because it led you to where you were meant to be. So when you feel like stopping, remember why you started. When the pain sets in, remind yourself that it's temporary. Push through, keep going, because the ones who keep moving forward, no matter how hard it gets, are the ones who win. And you were born to win. You were born to be great, but it's up to you to prove it.